Um, I thought we showed glimpses, as usual, of being able to execute a game plan and play really, really hard within that game plan. And, just the same kind of moral of the story is that glimpses are not going to be enough for this year's team. And it's going to take the perfect storm and us putting together a 40-minute game, which again, we did not do tonight. But, the glimpses are encouraging, and the moments where we show that we can play high-level basketball, and we just got to keep continuing to try to build off of that. I thought Samaya just played her absolute butt off tonight. I was really, really proud of her effort. Had some other kids that played extremely hard too, but it's going to take every single person, and it's going to take every single person for 40 minutes for us to have some success. So again, bright spots within the game per usual, and executed the game plan well at times, but not for obviously a long enough time and consistently enough throughout the 40 minutes. But I think there's some things to build off in this game for sure. That's a really, really good team. But again, not beating anybody, allowing 88 points. That's not who we are. So.
You talked about the glimpses, and it seemed at the beginning there was a lot of sharing the ball. Cam had 3 assists early, and then it seemed like it started to be one-on-one more.
Mm-hmm.
Is that where you saw the kind of breakdown?
Yeah, it's just like when you go away from what's working, that's generally not a good thing. That's not high IQ basketball, and when something's working, you generally want to stick to that. But we did become more one-on-one, and this was probably the team that was the most physical with us in the Big 12. And we knew that going in. They play extremely hard. They got up in us. They were physical with us. We did not handle it well. This is a big, strong league. And even if we're not big and strong, we need to act like we're big and strong. And I don't think we handled their physicality well at all.
The foul issues, though, seem to have fixed themselves this game more than, it kind of did it at ASU too, but nobody got into foul trouble. Everybody seemed to play defense the way defense should be played.
Yeah.
So you're talking about bright spots. I really feel like that's a huge bright spot, especially with now T's back, but
Yeah.
a shorter bench.
Yeah. Anytime Samaya doesn't foul out, we're going to celebrate that. So that's probably why she's sitting up here today. Yes. I would stick with the positive. I would say we gave up 88 points, so we didn't have to foul because they just shot layups all night. But I think you could look at it both ways. We did a good job at times being more disciplined, not fouling, and then at times we just got beat off the bounce one-on-one and didn't even have the ability to foul. Like I said, it was just too inconsistent of a game for 40 minutes.
Addie, except for the one moving
Yeah.
screen, she seemed to have a positive impact. What did you see from her?
Yeah, athleticism. She finished well today. She rolled to the basket hard. She set great screens except for the one, which I'll have to go back and watch it. I don't think that was her normal moving screen call. I think she's really made a conscious effort to be coachable from that standpoint. But, Addie just brings that balance, that athleticism. She brings that competitiveness. And, again, consistency. I don't know what I'm getting out of her yet when I put her in, so I just go with how she's flowing. And I thought she did a good job today.
Samaya, you had game high 25, 5 of 7 from deep. Just what was working? What were you seeing as those were going in?
They just kept going under stuff, so I just kept shooting it. But yeah, I just trying to take what they give me and staying aggressive throughout the whole game. Yeah.
Becky, for you, kind of piggybacking off of that, we've seen Lonnie's number of shots go up, assists come down a little bit. It feels like kind of the backcourt, Samaya is the more effective guard right now. Are there ways, or are those conversations that you guys are having, or looking to kind of get her back into more of like a facilitating the offense and letting Samaya score?
I don't think we want her shots to go up and her assists to go down. I think we want her right around where she's been majority of the season. People are trying to make her life difficult, and I would too. That's part of the game plan when you play us, which I think has definitely opened some things up for Samaya. It opened some things up for the other players on our team. But yeah, we need her to be facilitating and scoring at an equal clip. And what we ask Lonnie to do is a lot. We ask her to defend the other team's best player, to be the most impactful offensively in almost every category. So we ask her to do a ton, but I think she does a good job finding that balance when she feels like she could be aggressive and when she feels like she needs to facilitate. So I trust her with those things.
Being only 3 points down in the first quarter, what did you see go well for this team at that point?
Yeah, we were moving the ball multiple sides of the floor. We were scoring. They still scored 21 in the first quarter, which we don't like, but I think we scored 18. And so when we score the ball, generally we have a little more bounce on the defensive end. we were moving the ball, getting to our second and third actions, knocking down shots. We were kind of flowing in rhythm, I would say is the best way to describe it offensively.
Going into the second half, you scored more points in the first. What did you tell them in the locker room?
Challenged them like I usually do if we go in and we're down, to continue to play with pace, go back to what's given you success, keep being aggressive on the offensive end, but also keep being aggressive on the defensive end because that fuels what we do offensively.
I wanted to ask a little bit about the post-game chant. Where did that idea come from, and why was it so important to you to establish a new tradition this early on in your career?
It was just something that we talked about kind of as a group. I think it was just like some of us, marketing and sports information and myself, just something new that we could do and get people excited about our new kind of phrase or slogan. It remains to be seen. We might keep it. We might have something more solidified in the next couple years, but.
How did the girls react to that since you guys do it win or loss?
Yeah.
Was it tough to come out and try to bear down, sleeves up after a tough loss, or?
Yeah, living is hard after a loss. Like, it's just, let alone chanting and having a smile on your face. But let me be, like, very, very clear. I want to thank every single fan that was in the building today for showing out and showing up for us. This is the only program in the country where we can be having a building season and we can be in, kind of the valley that we're in and still have a record crowd in game number 9 or 10 of the Big 12. Like, this doesn't happen. This is a very, very special and unique place, and I want every single person that shows up and buys a ticket to our game to understand and know that we don't take it lightly. We do not take it for granted, and I'm just so appreciative, and I know our players are as well because, like I said, this is rare, and it does not go unnoticed, and we need them to keep coming and supporting, and when we get this thing rolling, I want those people to say that they were here from the ground level.
Samaya, defense was on point tonight for you. You were flying all over the place and on the ground a lot. What were you seeing out of the team on the defensive side? What was Oklahoma State doing that was maybe getting you out of that? Because I really do think at a lot of points during the game, you guys were very keyed in on your defense.
Yeah, I mean, we sort of put in a new ball screen coverage these past couple of days. A lot of their offense ran through ball screen, so just seeing my man and then seeing where the ball's going and reacting on the flight of the ball and just when we got the good stops, it was sort of all of us moving and rotating on the flight of the ball as one. Everyone knows where they're going next, and then finishing with the box out. Those were our best possessions when we got good stops. So just trying to get more of those and staying focused on the game plan and what coverages we're in and things like that throughout the whole game.
We didn't see T in the second half. Was that a injury-related thing or just personnel matchup decision?
No, just personnel decisions that I'm making. At this point, choosing to play people based on certain things, and that's where I'm at.
And then sorry.
I know it's not easy to answer these questions after a loss, but we were doing a feature on Michelle, and it was like you almost get 2 for 1 with her with the GM side, but also she's kind of helpful during the timeouts. What has she brought this year in her first 20 years as GM?
Oh yeah, she's one of the most decorated players to ever play this game. To not have her in those timeouts and being in my ear a little bit, or not have her down at practice and telling me what she sees would be silly. So yes, best of both worlds I think would be the best way to describe it. Having her savvy business mind and maturity in that aspect with rev share and NIL and all these things that we deal with on the other side of things, but then also to have her basketball mind. I mean, she's a 2-time SEC champ and a national champion and a pro and best high school player in the country. Like there's a lot of positives to having her out there, and she doesn't overstep. She's found that really beautiful balance. She knows she's not at practice every single day for the whole time. She knows she's not in every prep meeting, but just gives me that authentic feedback, what she sees and what her thoughts are, and then I take it or leave it, just like I do with every other thought from my assistants.
Is there going to be anything specific in this film session that's going to stand out preparing for Kansas State?
I know nothing about Kansas State yet, but there's a lot for us to take about us in this game that needs to be improved regardless of our opponent. So yeah, we're gonna go back and dive through this thing, because in every game, that's what's so frustrating, is that there's so many bright spots in every game we play, but the consistency is not there yet for us to be able to put it all together and have that perfect storm of being able to execute for 40 minutes. So there's been a tremendous amount of bright spots, and then there's also a pretty decent number of not so bright spots, which is usually what bites us in the butt. That run in the third quarter, or that lapse on the offensive end of the floor. So plenty of each to pick through and dive into after each game.
Do you think the bright spots are getting more than the other side as you're going through, or is it just kind of like they're switching places almost?
Yeah, it's like these bright spots, and then the next game it's these bright spots. I just told my assistants, because every time we go in the locker room, they're like, the bright spot was this. I'm like, I don't want more bright spots. Stop. I'm done with the bright spots. But yeah, it's these over here for this game, and then the bright spots here, and then the bright spots there, and it's just like, okay, I just want one bright spot for 40 minutes, and I want to be able to put it all together. But yeah, maybe more here, more there, but it's not consistent enough by any means.
What's a positive takeaway that you hope the team takes into the next game?
You know, same thing that you could take away from the TCU game, the same thing that you could, take away from the Kansas game. We have the ability to compete with every team in this league. To compete with them for a majority of the game or at any moment during the game versus beating them are two totally different things. Like, I hope they feel like they belong. I hope they feel like at any given night that they can win, but I also hope that they understand what it is going to take for that to happen for us. I don't go out and just feel like teams are just kicking our butt every single night. That's not how I feel, and I don't think that's how they feel either. But we show spots in every single game where we belong and we can compete, and if we put it all together and we have that perfect storm of 40 minutes, that we're going to be able to pull a couple of these out down the stretch.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.